Hey everybody, it's Dave at Holiday for Two. Last summer we took a trip through Colorado, and we actually took a month-long trip, went through Colorado, South Dakota, up into Yellowstone, saw the Mount Rushmore and all that, and came down through Idaho and Utah. It was a beautiful trip, but Colorado, I want to share with you something in Colorado that happened to us. We almost didn't make our trip. We had a little incident in Colorado that almost put an end to our trip. Luckily, we, as you can see, we made it okay. Show you what happened to us, and hopefully if you are pulling a rig longer than what we have, you might want to avoid certain places in Colorado. We have a 25-foot Class C Coachman Freelander, and we pull a four-door Jeep Wrangler behind us. And if it had been any longer than what we are, I think it would have been a lot serious outcome. Luckily, I'll show you what happened. And so I'll show you some pictures and hope you enjoy it. I hope you get something useful out of it. Beautiful state, Colorado. So let's get to it. Here is Colorado Danger. Watch out for it.
So someday when my ship comes in, I know just what we'll do. We'll pack our bags and quit our jobs and have a holiday for two.
Our first stop was a visit to the historic mining town of Durango, Colorado. And this town has a long history dating back to the 1880s. We took some time and just walked around downtown visiting the shops and having a bite to eat and just enjoying the weather, which was beautiful. We tried to visit the historic Durango and Silverton narrow gauge railway, but unfortunately it wasn't running. It hadn't started up yet. Really wanted to ride this train. It's an open air train that takes you up through the San Juan Mountains, and it follows the historic trail dating back to the gold and silver mining days. We stopped at Lightner Creek Campground for a few days just to enjoy the peace and quiet, walk around the trails, and just take in the beautiful weather that we had. This is a little campground that's just up the road from Durango. Unfortunately, time was at an end, so we had to move on. We were going to take a few days and go up the highway to Haviland Lake, but on the way up to Haviland Lake, we stopped and visited some of the hot springs that were in the area. Highway 250 takes you up from Durango to Silverton. We even made a stop at the Honeyville Honey Factory, and oh man, they have some real goodies in there. If you like honey, that's the place to stop. We stayed at Haviland Lake for a night. Unfortunately, I guess the lake was being drained to do some renovations to the dam. But we stayed in the campground. It was very restful and peaceful, and there weren't that many campers in the area. Of course, this was 2020 in the summer, and I think a lot of people were just not traveling. On up the highway to Molas Pass. Now, this was an incredible pass. Molas Pass elevation. Now, it says 10,899 feet, but that sign was a little higher, so the altitude was different. And we had no trouble getting up the passes. Just a beautiful sight up there. And this was in June, and it was so cold.
North, and that's looking towards Silverton. And it's kind of looking southeast. I don't know what mountain that is. Still lots of snow. Bird, it's cold. Up the mountain okay. Nice. Brr, it's cold.
We continued on our journey up to Silverton. And this is where everything kind of happened real fast. On up, we went on the Red Mountain Highway. And just watch.
Oh, Jesus, 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 Jesus.
Yeah, that was scary. That was my wife who was watching and trying to film everything happening. Now, when you look at the damage that was caused, it really wasn't that bad. I wondered why I saw this 80-foot semi coming around the corner, and I was only going about 15-20 miles an hour and stopped. But unfortunately, I was not able to stop in time. All right, so I'm going to stop right there. Now, we didn't let that stop our trip. After we got out, went down the road, took a look at the damage, we could still drive everything. Everything was fine. The Jeep was still good. So we just continued on our journey for the next 3.5 weeks. It could have stopped us, though. I think that was the scary part, is that it could have been so much worse. But we got back home in Phoenix. We took it in and had the damage estimated, and you would not believe how much it cost just for that little amount of damage. And so I think I'll show you the bill. But like said, we didn't let it stop our trip. $31,840 in collision damage. Amazing. Well, hope you like this video, and please hit like and subscribe. Thank you and enjoy.